A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try that again with a response this time, perhaps. A very good morning to you all, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic. Thank you so much for making your way back as we warmly welcome you back to day 2 of the first hybrid, but yet the 15th annual Trialogue Business in Society Conference. Delighted again to have you all joining us as our in-person guests who have actively participated in conversation with us yesterday and looking to build up on the spirit that we have identified regarding our theme this year being Reconnect. We'd also like to introduce our virtual audience that's also joining us online. Great to have you back with us on the platform. We are aware that yesterday there were some technical challenges, and as highlighted, technology is a great friend, but it's a fickle one. So to those of you who've been able to join and log back onto the platform, we're really grateful that you're able to interact with us today, and we ask that you bring about the same amount of enthusiasm, excitement, questions, and interaction that we had with us yesterday. Again, a reminder as well to our audience in person that you can make use of the platform as well to engage with your peers and colleagues who might have been here yesterday and not present today, or those perhaps who are unable to join us. But I must say that I'm quite excited to see many of us reflecting on the outcomes that we unpacked just yesterday. You might recall that we focused primarily on the first 2 themes: equitable philanthropy, which was presented in partnership with Vodacom, and inclusive growth in the green economy, which was presented in partnership with Nedbank. And we really got about to unpacking what these themes entail in detail. Primarily when it comes to equitable philanthropy, understanding that we have a role to play both domestically and with our international peers, not only to unlock capital that might be available in the market, but also ensuring that there's a tighter sense of cohesiveness between all the key players, from businesses to making sure that potential funders and, of course, NPOs themselves are inculcated in the culture of the communities that they invested in. We were challenged to rethink, to reimagine, and also to reinvigorate the spirit of community and excitement within ourselves. The green economy also pushed us to reimagine what it actually means to actively participate in a key sector of the economy that is propelling growth, opportunity, and excitement. Most importantly, also making sure that whilst we go to explore new opportunities within the economy, we need to be mindful of the fact that we still need to unpack the impact on the ground, from skills development to unemployment, and of course, the level of cohesiveness between all stakeholders. Today we're going to shift gears, and we'll hear some more insight from some of the outcomes that we heard from the breakaway sessions that did take place in the afternoon. But today we will be focusing and unpacking the importance and the meaning of employee engagement, and of course also taking a look at future-proofing development. Now, this will also feature the conversations and themes that we need to understand as to what they entail and what we can do walking away from these themes and implementing them positively within the organizations that we run. I do want to build up the excitement as well, because for anyone who's attended a Trialogue conference, you would know that at the end of day 2, there is an exciting opportunity for NPOs who have been shortlisted to present their case and have a phenomenal opportunity to receive donor funding. This is called Donors Den. We put them on the spot, not unintentionally so, trust me, they've rehearsed and practiced, but there's an opportunity for them to present their case studies and, most importantly, provide us with clarity as to what they require funding for, what growth opportunities they're looking to explore, and how this will be monitored, measured, and evaluated. And we'll have our judges joining us on stage who'll ask them some very difficult questions to ensure that we identify the right candidates, which you will all be actively participating in. So I hope that we keep that momentum and the excitement that we've built up in terms of Donors Den and naturally identifying who it is that we will be helping at the end of the day. On that note, I do want to remind you of a few of the house rules that we've got going. No doubt, we're still on the digital platform as this is a hybrid event. So if you do need help logging back onto the platform, please do make sure that you go to the exhibition center. You're more than welcome to request assistance from Trialogue representatives to scan a QR code, which will lead you directly onto the platform. You log in with your email address only, and from there, you'll be able to interact. Watch live videos, and of course, present your questions, not only for the audience that's present with us here today, but also for those of you who are joining us virtually and online. Of course, a reminder that we do want you to share feedback with the rest of the world, because we have been doing some exciting things over the last few years, and outcomes and feedback that will be shared with you again here today. So for those of you who are posting on social media, please keep the conversation going. The official account name to use is @Trialogue SA, @Trialogue SA, and of course use the hashtag BIS2022. On that note, you might recall that yesterday we had encouraged you to share some of your insight and feedback through the chat service, and also share some of your knowledge and post quite extensively on social media platform. And the phenomenal prize that we have for a few winners who share some insightful information and those who also actively post on social media will be winners of a listing in the Trialogue handbook for NPOs. And of course, this will offer them the opportunity, this will, not the handbook, but rather the listing and the hub, for them to actually receive some insight and feedback and expand on the market opportunities presented to them. So we do have winners that we'd like to announce. The Trialogue team, if some of the winners are not present here today, the Trialogue team will make an effort to actually reach out to the respective winners. But the 3 chat winners that we have from yesterday are Suraya Jonas, Almarie Pereira, and Vanisha Godan. Now, we also have social media winners who consist of MJ from Paramani Young Minds Academy. And they were actually key social media tweeters and participants last year as well during our conference. So those are the social media winners. And of course, congratulations to them. We'll be sure to update you on your win of the listing. On that note, before we get started, you know that we like to do a litmus test of the energy, right? How we start the day sets the theme and the tone for the remainder of the session, right? And a lot of you are keen to ask questions, keen to engage, looking forward to the presentations. We'll hear from many of the speakers. But I guess, as highlighted yesterday, we want to make sure that we are all ready for stage 3. Not load shedding, not lockdown, but stage 3, applause. So perhaps we can do a quick warm-up again, where we perhaps do a quick litmus test just before we get the day started by introducing our first 2 speakers who will give us some insight into our sessions today. Shall we rub our hands together? Shall we put our fruits down just for a second to get ready to whistle and ululate? Right? Are we ready? You don't sound sure. Are we ready, ladies and gentlemen? Stage 3 applause, please, to build up the excitement for Business in Society Conference for 2022. There we go. Perfect. Now that will have to be maintained throughout the course of today, and we'll hold you to it, including several of our speakers. Just before I get started again, I'd like to thank the participation of all our sponsors who've joined us in order to make sure that these conversations, these networking sessions, and of course, the knowledge that we gain from this conference can continue to take place. So a big thank you to all our corporate sponsors, MTN SA Foundation, Nedbank, Rand Water Foundation, Sanlam, Standard Bank, Volkswagen South Africa, and Vodacom. We really appreciate your participation and, of course, the opportunities that have been shared here thus far. A reminder that if you'd like to engage with some of the sponsors, some of whom have put some money on the table just yesterday, feel free to go and visit the exhibition stands where you can engage with them and share some feedback.